Good evening. It is 6 p.m., August 16, 2022. I call to order the Mercedes-ISD School Board Trustees, meeting. We have a quorum, myself, the Vice President, Ms. Delgado, the Secretary, Mr. Martinez, via the internet, Mr. Eddie Howe, Mr. Brian Acosta, Mr. Rick Garza, Rachel Trevino, and of course, Dr. Rivera. We will now follow up with a pledge of allegiance by Trustee Mr. Delgado, invocation by Trustee Mr. Acosta.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon our district and our staff. Guide our students and our staff and faculty as they get ready to start this new school year, that we may be successful in all that we do, and that our students and teachers be ready to begin this new year. We'd also like to ask you to please provide us guidance in our decisions that we make today, that they're in the best interest of our district and in our community. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Delgado and Mr. Acosta. Moving along with the agenda, guys. Open forum, public comments. Ms. Marta, do we have anybody?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay, let me read this one really quick, guys. The next item on the agenda is open forum or public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedure for handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address the agenda item to be considered by the board on tonight's agenda. Anyone who wants to speak during the public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the agenda item they want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to address the board. However, any public testimony speaker who requires a translator, will receive up to 10 minutes to address the board. The public comment portion of the meeting will allow all speakers who have signed up before the start of the meeting to address the board regarding an item on tonight's agenda. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please also avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Last, we ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own child. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGBA has been established for addressing the employees' complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue of filing parent complaints, and policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration office. Thank you. Go ahead and proceed. Welcome, Mr. Castaneda.
Good afternoon. I am here to discuss executive session item 2, which would be discussion and consideration on the proposal of termination of Mari L. Espino's term contract. Also, I'm here to discuss item C. It's discuss consideration of the interim superintendent agreement. I'm going to begin with item C with the superintendent agreement. I feel and I believe that we have the right person on board. He comes in with a track record at Westaco ISD, Ed Calchosa ISD, Monte Alto ISD, with very good credentials and very good achievements he did as a superintendent in those school districts. I know a board member had questioned him or had questions regarding his achievements, and that person really needs to do their homework and look into what this person has accomplished in other school districts. Obviously, at Ed Calchosa ISD, he would go to every campus and visit every campus, something we have not seen from a superintendent in this school district in a very long time. So before you go out there speaking about this individual's credentials, do your homework, por favor. Now moving on to item 2, which was discussing consideration of proposal of termination Mari L. Espino. It's an embarrassment that you all would take the time to put something like this on the agenda. It seems like every time I come to a board meeting, it's because we have things like this. This person right here abused of a child, a disabled child. In a sad situation that you all would take the time to consider the contract. Did you all consider the contract with the previous individual who molested the little girls at Harold Middle School? Was it placed on the agenda? Did you all consider placing the contract of the teacher at the high school who was having an improper relationship with the student? This is because they're friends with certain board members. 2 people had to sign this to place it on the agenda. They don't consider the students. They're worried about the personal agenda. No tienen vergüenza ustedes. Or else no tienen vergüenza. I hope you all make the right decision and do not renew this contract or get rid of this contract and move in the right direction, bring in new, fresh staff members to the school district, because we can't have this anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Thank you, Ms. Martha. Moving along, guys, the superintendent's report, a presentation, A1, 2022-2023, budget presentation number 3 by Dr. Richard Rivera, interim superintendent, and Delia Garcia, CFO.
Thank you.
Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome, sir.
have 14 slides to share with the board. The first one has to do with budget goals. And in this budget, we're looking to provide quality instruction, retain and recruit qualified staff, a safe school environment, and to improve facilities. These are budget goals that we have. As far as factors that will influence the budget, I've listed several things in your packet. The factors that will influence the budget for this coming year, the ADA, property values, the tax compression, federal funds, which includes ESSER monies, personnel, insurance, inflation, security with safe schools, and facilities. The next page has to do with a major goal of this school district, of the community, of the staff, of the school board. My goal is again to provide a safe school environment where the parents send their kids to school and they want for them to be safe. So we've done several things during the summer. The first one is that we sent a safety team to Region 1 just to gain insight into what's happening on this topic. The district has a safety and security committee, and they met to discuss different things that have on the audit to ensure that all doors and access points are secure. The campus administrators attended a week-long leadership academy where safe schools requirements were reviewed and studied. The campus had at Mercedes High School, we had a mock drill that the participants participated in an actual craze program in collaboration with the police, and the mock drill was if a certain activity occurred, what to do, what not to do. And the campus administrators have scheduled mandatory drills throughout the school year to train and prepare students and staff. We're going to have 25 security guards to be hired district-wide, but we want them to be more visible, and we're going to require A+ work from these security guards, and we want to make sure that they do the job that we want for them to do, and that's safe schools. With the board's approval, we want to increase the resource officers from 2 to 5. We'll have two at the high schools, or 3 with, at early college, 1 in every middle school, and 1 in elementary to be like a rover. On the next page, I have the enrollment impact on the budget. I'm very concerned. I know the board is concerned. The principals are concerned. Because if you look at this slide, it shows that from 2018-2019, the district had 5,275 students. And every year since then, it has decreased. Last year, in '22, there were 4,418 students. So for this year, following the trend, we're projecting 4,160. But the goal is to increase this number to be higher than the 4,160. When you have lower enrollment to the right, you have the average daily attendance that affects the funding. And you can see to the right that in 2019, the ADA was 4,835, and every year it has dropped. The estimate for this year is going to be 3,773. So as you reduce enrollment and ADA, you have to reduce staffing. That is standard operating procedures. So if the goal of 3,773 is not met once school starts, we have to continue reducing the budget. Even though we have people already in place, we have to continue reducing because the state is going to fund us at 3,773. If it's more than this, we get additional monies. But if it's less than this amount, we have to continue reducing staff. The school district, all of us have been very involved with our staff, trying to make sure that our kids enroll back in school. We've had meetings, we worked with the parents, and this is the goal that we have. The enrollment next week on Monday will determine where we are as far as enrollment, as far as ADA. What I have done with the principals, working with the principals, they've been very cooperative. We reduced staff by about 15 individuals that either resigned, they resigned through attrition, slots were not filled. So we were able to go ahead and generate the 1.2 million in funding. So we lost the ADA, but again, working with the principals, we were able to go ahead and sustain that amount where we break even. So again, we reduced staff, and because of this, our balanced budget looks a little better. Again, the concern that I have is that if we don't reach the 3,773, we're going to have to continue reducing staff. And that's very crucial. And again, the test comes on Monday and next week to see how many kids we actually enroll. I can't give you a feel for this district. I'm hoping the principals can, to know what their enrollment is going to be in their school beginning Monday and carrying on through the school year. On the next slide, this is where I show the 1.2 million. Again, it was done through attrition. Some slots were put on hold depending on enrollment come next week. We're going to monitor student enrollment. When the year starts, we're going to see if one school has more kids and one has less, and we may have to move teachers from one school to another. As far as the enrollment, that's through the reassignment of staff. Again, we were able to do this in a short month, reduce the staffing, and again, I want to say the principals are very cooperative in helping this reduction. On page 7, I'm showing you the enrollment. This is last year's enrollment. The enrollment we had in August 2021. Then later you see the peak enrollment, the month, and then the number of students we had in May. So you can see that in August, we had 4,060. The peak, 4,502. We finished the year in May at 4,376. And what I'll do next week, when we have the budget meeting, I'll go ahead and put a new slide here, or a new scale here, where I put the number of kids that we have enrolled as of next week, as of Monday. So again, I'm hoping the principals and their staff will do their work to bring the kids in. I sure do not want to continue reducing our students, because that affects everyone in this school district. On the next slide, I want to show you the ESSER grants. The ESSER grants statewide, and here in Mercedes, these have been life-saving monies for the districts everywhere. Because without the ESSER monies, it would have been very difficult for all school districts to be able to come up with a balanced budget. If you can see the ESSER 1, almost $3 million, and that has been exhausted. The ESSER 2, about $12.2 million. In the grant, we still have approximately $1.4 million at the end of July. The ESSER 3, $27 million, 27.4. And again, this ends in a year, in September 2023. And right now, on this grant, we have remaining $16,200,000 at the end of July. We have placed several custodians that we have from local funds. We have moved them to ESSER. And these are the monies that the state has allowed. And these have been life-saving for all school districts, including Mercedes ISD. So as the year goes by, I will show you what is left of these monies and where the monies are being spent. On page 9, a goal is improving facilities. We have taken, last year the board approved for us to move $2.2 million from fund balance, do some roofing projects at Mercedes High School, the G and the E wing, the Mecca campus, the Chacon gutters, high school chiller, and the early college cafeteria. To the right, there's some unfunded projects still that we need to look at and study and find a way to see if we can get these projects done. We need to look at playground equipment. What we have right now needs to be improved. We need to look at fencing for security reasons. Some parking lots are in bad shape. A chiller at Harold. Want to repair the old band hall by 10th Street. And district-wide roofs. During the recent rains, we found some leaks at these schools. So again, there are some unfunded projects. And again, our goal is working through different ways to get these projects funded. On page 10, one way I mentioned last month is to look at a maintenance tax note. The district already has two from past years, the energy project loan and a flood loan. So we're looking at perhaps maybe a $4 or $5 million loan to be paid back in maybe 20 years, and being able to do the roofs, playground equipment, and some fencing. But again, we'll have the financial advisor come by later on and see if the board is willing to go ahead and secure a third loan to finish some of the projects that right now are not funded. The taxes will remain the same from last year. In fact, it's a little bit lower due to the tax compression. So last year it was a penny, 135.2, and for this year is 134.5, and we're going to add 3 pennies, which will not affect the tax rate. These are from the winter storm that we had last year, and we are still working. I know we discussed last time that we're looking at damages that occurred during the storm in the spring, so we're still working with that. But we had an additional almost $1 million that we can use again for the roof repairs district-wide. On page 12, this is the tax revenue. The current tax levy will generate $9,350,591. The tax rate is set at 134.5. The estimated collection is 95% plus delinquent. The M&O collections at $6,883,000. INS to be paid back is $2,329,000. So the total estimated tax revenues are almost $9,213,000. On page 13, these are the revenues, and you can see the 21 budget, the proposed, and there is a decrease. So as we get less revenues from the state, we have to reduce the expenditures. So you see that 1.2 is less money that we're getting from the state. So again, in our balanced budget that we seek, we have to also decrease the budget. On page 14, wanted to show the board the accountability letter grades for all our schools with distinctions. From the last time, 2019, for 2 years we were not given letter grades. John Kennedy went from a C to a B with one distinction. Hinojosa went from a C to a B with 2 distinctions. And there are about 7 or 8 distinctions, and I'll share these with the board through an update. So, and Zachary Taylor, a B to a B with no distinctions. William Travis from a C to a B, 1 distinction. Chacon Middle School from a D to a C, 0 distinctions. William Harrell Middle School from a C to a C, no distinctions. Mercedes High to a B to a C, no distinctions. Early College from an A to a B, 0 distinctions. And the Mercedes Academic Academy from a D to an A, but they're not eligible for distinctions. At a later date, I want to show the board how we compare to Region 1. In Region 1, there were some districts that scored A's, some B's, some C's. So the goal that we have for this coming year, and everyone here in the audience is going to have to work at a higher level, because the goal that we have is for every school to move up 1 letter grade. If you're a C, I want you to be at least a B. If you're a B, I want you to be an A. And we also want to get more distinctions. I think our principals need to know and evaluate what the distinctions are, and through our teaching, be able to go ahead and do these and increase the number of distinctions. Again, these are the scores for this coming year. And again, the goal is to become better. We cannot be satisfied with what we have. It has to be better for this coming school year. And again, I will show you how we compare to different schools our size, the 5A districts, where we are compared in all the different areas. On the next page, this is the preliminary first report. The district received a superior score of A and a score of 94, which is 10 points higher than the previous years. The ratings are based on the year 2021. The final ratings will be released in November, and the state requires a public hearing. So in November, we'll go ahead and make a presentation on the first report. And then the last slide that I have is the public hearing. We have it set for Thursday of next week, August 25th. And here we're going to approve the budget, and we're going to approve the tax rate. We're working very hard to come up with a balanced budget. And again, I will tell you next week how we are with the enrollment the first week of school. I have the slides that I presented. I'm here to answer questions. You can ask me or you can ask staff on any of these slides.
Guys, any questions, any comments? Well, Dr. Rivera, my 2 cents, and then just being a math teacher, I want to stand up for the staff because they've gone through a lot. It's very demanding, the issue of the mental aspect. The kids were isolated, the social skills. In fact, I was reading an article, Dr. Rivera and guys, that even the 2-year-olds, they've lost a lot.
Yes.
So it's from the New England Journal of Medicine. And I was reading the newspaper, so I'm going to commend the staff, just steadfast, Dr. Rivera, steadfast, and we're going to get better. I mean, we are getting better, and I just want you to relay that to the staff. I can only myself,
I will. And we're all in this together, and they're my scores and they're their scores, so we're gonna go ahead again with our staff, our teachers, and work hard to get these scores higher. A B is not bad. We're a B, and it's a school district,
Right.
but our goal is to become an A. That's just being competitive. We want to become better at what we do. And again, it's a team effort. So, again, I thank the staff. They were here last year, and again, as you said, they went through a lot. And it was a challenging year, and I just know that we're going to improve on the scores that we have here. Again, good job to the staff.
Any more questions? Any comments, guys? Thank you, Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
And thank you for staff. Okay, moving along, guys, on the agenda. Action agenda A, business office. A1, discussion possible action to award RFP number 08-5-22-377, workers' compensation insurance. Dr. Rivera.
Yes, you have the information before you. We had 5 proposals, and they're listed. Carlisle ranked number 1. They had the lowest bid at $295,000. Last year, it was $465,000, so a difference of almost $170,000. Carlisle is asking they're asking for a 3-year commitment, a guaranteed at the same rate for 3 years. So staff is here. We are recommending Carlisle, but again, there is a 3-year commitment at the same rate. So it's up to the board to decide if you're going to approve our recommendation.
Okay, guys, we have a recommendation from the superintendent. May I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Acosta,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mr. Garza. All right, guys, any discussion? Any
Who is our
discussion?
current, I'm sorry, it's doing updates.
Our current one is, if I recall, who's our current character? I
Montalvo.
mean, agent? Montalvo, right? Texas Mutual.
Texas Mutual.
Well, guys, the only thing is, when I was doing my homework, for some odd reason, that 3-year agreement just caught my attention. Dr. Rivera, is there a termination fee? Because if I recall, about 2 years ago, and I don't think it was workers' comp, I think it was the other property casualty. And I think there was a termination fee. Is that about right, Tony? But that was property casualty, right? But I'm still have that memory about.
That was property and casualty, and it was the
Mhm.
PCAT policy.
So the only thing, guys, the only thing I'm concerned about that is what if we don't, I'm not saying that they're not gonna do a good job, but I'm just saying, well, what happens if, it's like buying an automobile, he says, hey, wait a minute, and you've gone and tried to fix it, and you got a lemon, and, you know, is there gonna be a termination fee, or we decide to say, hey, you know what, we're not very comfortable with it? What do you guys
I'll have
think?
to work with the attorney, if that's the case, if you want a termination.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I'm looking up at the school district saying, hey, you know, if old Hernandez doesn't make it in November, I mean, and the new board goes in there and not very happy with, let's say, if the board wishes, if they're not happy with Carlisle Insurance, I mean, it seems like, you know, we passed the buck to them. And, you know, that's the shoe, that's what I was in with some of the contracts we had in the past. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud there.
That was one of the concerns that I had was the 3-year commitment, and if there was an early termination. But I'm looking at the premium, and the difference is about almost $200,000, and being that there is no increase in the rate, you know, I think we've seen premiums go up year after year if we go back and look at some of the other proposals that we've done. So I think it's going to be a savings in the long run. And, you know, if we have to file a claim, this is workman's comp. So I'm hoping that they'll, you know, take care of any employees that we have that may have been injured. But I think at the overall rate, it's providing the same services and at a $200,000 savings. And that's just year one.
You know what, Mr. Costa, you got me thinking too, when you said about the staff rights. Dr. Rivera, we have any concerns about other districts having great service with the Deep East Texas Self-Insurance Fund? I mean, because, I mean, guys, I think we got to watch out for our staff. You know, I know, I agree with you 100%, Mr. Acosta, with 295 rights. That's the concern that I have is that, okay, there's a termination fee, there's nothing stated there. Second of all, okay, I've never heard of Deep East Texas Self-Insurance Fund, you know, but that's what you brought up, that it's a valid point, and that's, you know, the service for the staff. You know, because if we have let's say, un tío se va a lastimar, and guess what, he's not getting the service, and it's 6 months later, and you know, he's, you know, that's the only income for the family. That's the concern I have. I don't know how what do you guys think? I mean, valid point, Mr. Costa, 100% with it, but.
Is the only
term-
issue you have is just a 3-year term, sir?
Dr. Rivera?
Yeah. Is that the only concern you have, that it's a 3-year?
The termination fee is not stated there, and also the quality of.
Are they here that you can ask them?
That's true.
If they're
Mr.
here, you can
Carlisle?
always ask a
Carlisle?
question. The-
The representative from Carlisle Insurance? Dr. Rivera, any Carlisle Insurance?
I don't see anyone.
It's a great point, Mr.
Mr. Gonzalez, are they here? Is anyone here from Carlisle? Okay.
I guess if I may, then I guess I'll have a question on regarding the ranking and the criteria. As we see, item 5, the vendor's past relationship with the district, they received 4.5 points. Is there any particular reason why they didn't receive the full 5?
Well, the committee is here. Mrs. Garcia, Mr. Campos, Ms. Rodriguez, and Mr. Gonzalez. I can let them answer this. Mr. Gonzalez?
Superintendent Rivera, Board President, fellow board members. The reason for that, sir, is because it was an average. So if I had a 3, somebody had a 2 or 5, and a 4, it divided by the 4, and it came out with a 3 with that score, or the 4.5. And you give it a 5.
So it was just an average? I guess it came down to an average? When you
Yes.
total them up?
Yes.
That being said, I don't know, have we ever had Cuellar and Associates service the district?
I would
I
not
don't know.
I don't recall.
I believe
Mr.
not.
Acosta, anybody? Tony, can you help us out for all sake here? No? No.
It just seems like maybe we have a lot of questions. Maybe we can table the item until we get some of these questions answered, sir?
Will it be in a
I
tough
think-
situation,
I think,
Dr.
yeah,
Rivera?
I think we need this by September the 1st.
September the 1st?
On this, on the workers' comp, on this coverage, the employees, there's not an in-network, so the employees can go see a doctor or their choice. Also, this workers' comp, with Carla Insurance, what they will do also too is they'll provide to the members any personal safety equipment such as gloves, hard hats, glasses, vests, and dust masks. And also, to prevent any falls or slips, we could get at a reduced cost, for example, the shoes that for example, the child nutrition can use to eliminate any slips and falls at that department. And also, what's really helped out too, I must point this out too, that our loss ratio has decreased. In the year 2021, our loss ratio was at 38%. This current year, 21-22, our loss ratio is at 22%. So the district is actually doing a very good job in preventing any falls or slips and reducing our claims. So the district, we need to be very vigilant and continue that effort and stress the importance of not just be careful with the staff, make sure they're aware of their surroundings and et cetera, so we could keep on reducing our claims and get better premium.
Now, was this due to training, more training in the departments as far as the reduction of incidents? Was it internal training or was it
Yes,
workers?
yeah, that is correct. I know that in the early part of August, I know the maintenance department had a training where they trained their staff on proper lifting, using the buddy system, et cetera, to prevent slips and falls, et cetera.
Dr. Rivera, can I ask Mr. another question real quick? Certainly. Mr. Rivera, real quick, on that training, sir, was it based on a district or was it because of the insurance? I'm just curious about it.
Yeah.
Dr. Rivera, Board President, trustees, community, and staff members. It's been 2 years that we implemented the safety program here at Mercedes ISD. We have a trainer that comes and trains our maintenance, our CNS, our transportation. We have safety officers, and we do have a manual,
Okay.
and we do communicate with the principals, et cetera, so that we can train everybody on slips, trips, and falls, hazardous material, et cetera. So we've implemented the program. However, there's always room for improvement, but we do have those initiatives throughout the year. And I'm glad to hear that, there's been some improvement on the number of incidents due to I would want to say we contributed to the training. Yeah, so
Okay.
we do have it annually.
Any questions, guys?
I guess, I don't know if we have the information on what the premium was last year. Does it state here?
I think it says, last year was
365.
465 last year.
465?
465.
So there's a difference of about $170,000.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Last year?
Yes, 465 last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive
Yeah.
in the past. And I think that was one of the issues we had, or a concern we had in the
Yeah.
past, that the prices had gone up.
Well,
I really think we've got a good deal here.
I think, well, Dr.
I
Rivera,
think-
can you look into
Let me look into
to
it.
make sure the termination free time?
Yes.
I mean, can the board have that?
It's not spelled out in the agreement, and this is an interlocal agreement. Ambiguities construed against the drafter. If they didn't disclose it within the bid, and it's not in the contract, then we're not liable for that.
Nice, okay. That's even better, okay. Sounds like a great deal there, Mr. Costa.
Well, that's our main concern. That's our main
Yeah,
concern.
that was a main concern. I don't want to get, right. I have no more questions. So I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah.
I had one real quick with the training. I know our maintenance and all, how about our faculty? Are they also being trained? I don't know if you,
Yes, sir. Yes, we have the safety officers that are designated at each campus. It's usually an administrator. So we try and meet once every month and implement the trainings. We do have a video voiceover that we are going to distribute throughout the district, so all teachers and staff that are at the campus can go over it. And it's just awareness and education on what to do and what not to do. So it helps. It is condensed to like maybe a 45-minute training, about 40+ slides. But it's good information, and we're gonna send it out and have a deadline hopefully by the end of September, so that teachers and can go over it.
Again, that's our recommendation, and we feel that with the savings, even for next year, it helps balance our budget.
Okay. Any more questions, guys? Any discussion? Good discussion, guys. Okay, we have a motion from Mr. By the way, thank you, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Edena. We have a motion from Mr. Acosta, a second by Mr. Garza. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. Hold on, guys, let me get my... Action agenda A2, discussion possible action to award RFP 08-05-22-378, property and casualty insurance. Dr. Rivera.
Yes, the district received one proposal, one bid from Carlisle, and one from Casualty from Montalvo. And the district's increase for the property is $96,000, and for the casualty is almost $17,000. So we are recommending awarding the property to Carlisle and the casualty insurance to Montalvo. Again, we only had one bid for each one.
Okay, guys, we have a recommendation from administration. May I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion from Mr. Garza? Second, anybody? Second, anybody?
I'll second.
Okay, second from Mr. Martinez. All righty, guys, any discussion? No discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, let's move along, guys. We have a motion from Mr. Garza, second from Mr. Martinez. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. Next one. A3, discussion possible action to award RFP 08-05-22-379, security guard services. Dr. Rivera.
Yes, we have worked very hard with myself and the committee. You have 5 proposals, 16 committee members, including all principals. We had several meetings. We heard the 5 presentations. The committee ranked them, and they ranked L4 as number 1, MLG as number 2. And in the proposals, we're not going to, whoever the board hires, we're not going to do any overtime. And when you select someone, we're going to go back and work on the best and final. So again, the committee members are here. And what I did a little bit different is I took the individual rankings from all 16 committee members. And of the 16, as their number 1 choice, 13 had L4, and 2 had MLG as their number 1 pick. So the individual rankings and the total rankings come out to the firm being recommended. So the staff is here. If you have any questions for them, but this is our recommendation that we go ahead and go with the firm ranked number 1, which would be the L4.
Okay, guys, we have a recommendation from administration. May I entertain a motion? Okay, I have a motion for Mr. Howell. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Okay, I have a second from Mr. Martinez. Okay, any discussion, guys?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mrs.
Yes,
Bell. You have the floor.
I have, since L4 was rated as #1 ranking, I'm sorry, do they have the adequate staffing for Monday, to have everything set up for Monday? Who would,
What they
Who
told
would
us
be-
was yes, they have the staff, and also the staff to do the activities.
okay.
Two different,
The events? You mean
events, yeah. And no overtime. Mr. Gonzalez, am I correct on that? They have enough people to do the 8 to 5 and enough to do the
That's correct.
activities.
During the presentation, that is what they mentioned.
Can I ask him another question, sir? Or-
Yes.
Okay. What about the units, the patrol units? I recall that they weren't, throughout last year, for some reason, they weren't able to assist in the night patrols because they didn't have units, Do they have, did we confirm that they have the available units?
Yes, he mentioned that during the presentation, they do have units, yes, ma'am.
And how about the canines?
K-9, L4, well, that was one of the questions.
No K-9, right?
No K-9.
No K-9.
Let me interject, I apologize. Dr. Rivera, but who does the K-9? Does the city do it, or do we have a contract?
The city can do it. If not, we can contract out for someone else to do it. It can be someone else to do the K-9.
I think that's one of the items in consent agenda.
I'm sorry?
That is one of the items that's in our consent agenda.
Yes.
To consider that.
I have a little bit of a concern because, these proposals come in and we don't really, this is a lot of documentation to go through, but there's no doubt, that in the initial security vendor, the first meeting, the first committee, it was rushed. It was last minute. So, we sort of had to go back and we found out different things and had to get done. But there's two words that I think when I think about this is credibility and trustworthiness. We need to be able to say, you know what, yes, we're strongly about this. Yes, these, the committee ranked them. This is the information they received, and we're good. We're good. This is the vendor for us. Okay. I still don't think, I'm not there yet, but I hope, because you had 16 committee members, that's pretty good. But it took a lot. It took a lot of work, and it took for
We
you to
had
get
several
involved in that.
I got involved in every single meeting
Yes,
myself.
yes, because it is a very important item, and that the fact that we took this very lightly and we rushed through it, and not enough information was provided, we sort of, I hope you understand why I'm not too comfortable with it. But I know that you all and the principals are going to be monitoring it, and I know that you're going to continue to make sure things are running smooth, and the sign of any officers that don't show up, or we don't have enough officers at some campuses or crosswalks, that someone's called right away. And that I don't receive calls from parents saying that there's no one available at the crosswalk.
Again, the key here is the principal. That's why I
Yeah.
got them all involved.
Correct.
And again, whatever firm you hire, they're going to be monitored, and we're going to expect A-plus work
Correct.
from all 25 security guards. And again, the principals are responsible, and I am too. We're going to ensure that whoever you pick, that this firm will do the job they're hired to do.
And it's unfortunate that we are about a week away, and this is, we're discussing this at this time, but we move forward. But we did receive, there were concerns and some doubts from our district parents, students, staff, and even outside sources, you know, that we sort of, like, in your words, like, we dropped the ball, you know? And so we need to look credible, especially to our parents, and especially to our staff, because it's not, you know, they are included in this as well. And we need to make sure that things are done right. Whether it's security or insurance, or our employees have been doing this long enough, and you need to be, you know, feel confident that they know what they're doing.
I have all the confidence in the principals. I know that they're going to make sure, they're going to monitor whoever's there to do the job. If not, we'll deal with the company, and we'll take care of business. Security is very important to me.
Yes.
They take care of our boys and girls, and I'm going to be involved with it myself, big time. That no one fumbles the ball with security.
Dr. Rivera, on this item, I think, you know, it's one of the things that I take into consideration as well as the security. We've gone through this last year as well, and that was one of my concerns, because last year we went through a situation, you may not be aware, where we hired a firm, and I questioned, you know, whether they were going to be able to meet the commitment that they had made. And unfortunately, they weren't able to do that, and that really left us in a limbo, trying to go back to the firm that had been recommended by the committee at that time. We brought them back in. They were, you know, helpful in the fact that they came in to help us out and took over the services at that point. And so that really, you know, spoke loudly of the relationship with that vendor, and yet I see the vendor scored lower than the other vendor that's competing against them. The other issue that I saw was, and I don't know, you know, as far as the services that are provided to the district, you know, they were ranked equally, but like Mr. Hernandez had mentioned about the dog, the K-9 unit, that would be provided as part of the service. And I know that we have in our consent agenda to approve another service because this firm's not being selected, and the cost there's going to be $14,500, I believe is what I recall. And yet they were both rated equally in that respect. The other thing that kind of concerns me again is just, you know, I just want to be clear. You stated that regardless of the firm, no overtime
Yes.
was going to be, okay. And so the calculations that were done on the bottom, was that taken into consideration there? Because I see extracurricular activities, and there's 6 hours, 25 guards. Is that at an overtime rate, or is that a regular rate for all of them?
Regular rate.
Regular rate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Again, there sure does no overtime.
yeah,
If they could get us 2 groups
okay.
for the school day and then activities.
And I guess, you know, going back to what Mrs. Delgado stated, is the credibility. When I look at this, I see one firm with, you know, 6 months at 2 different districts. I have another firm that has got several districts that they've been working with, and they've got 8 years of experience versus, I believe, 3. And the number of employees is double the amount that the other firm has, if not a little bit over double. So I'd really my concern is that we wind up with a situation like we did last year, just trying to save some money. And when it comes to security and our students and the safety there, I think that, you know, that's something that we need to take into consideration and look at a little bit closer. And for that reason, I feel that the second firm is probably a little bit more qualified. They've been in the business longer. They've got a larger number of employees, and they provide additional services.
Well, Dr. Vera, I just have a quick question. The staff already done the reference checks, everything clear? Because Mr. Costa brings up a valid point, and one of the issues that I had with that particular security firm was they told the board that the reference checks were spotless, they were spot on. But yet, lo and behold, we found out later on that there was a lot of questions about the reference checks, so, you know.
I'm sorry,
Mike?
I don't recall that.
Yes.
I don't recall that, so maybe I wasn't here at that meeting, but I don't recall there being any questions. I know there was an issue with one of their guards, but at the same time, we had to scramble to bring in somebody, so I'm sure they had to hire guards and so forth to try and meet the demand that we had at that time. And so that's the only concern. I think that, you know, over the long run, I'd feel more comfortable with somebody that's more established and has more districts that they work with, so, thank you.
Well, Mr. Costa, with that point, the issue that I'm having is that there was an individual with that firm that called in a false report. You know, it's a trade-off with me, because I'm like, okay, did they vetted out the employees correctly? You know, just like, I mean, I don't know how the board wishes about that, but to me, it's non-negotiable, unforgettable, to say the least.
Well,
But,
you know, and I agree, I think that that's something that happens even within our own district. We've had some instances, and we provided background checks also.
okay, any more discussion, you guys?
Is there somebody here from, I'm sorry, L4 Security?
Is somebody here from L4?
L4,
Oh,
You do have the 25 employees for security guards? Do you have the 25 employees for the security guards?
Yes, we have enough capability to both aid and your after-school events.
What would happen
You wanna go to the
if
podium?
we do not have enough? What happens tomorrow, you do not have enough security guards? What will happen?
If tomorrow, if we don't have enough guards for you guys coming Monday, yeah, I'm in the process of still hiring a lot of people.
So-
Yeah, it would be definitely a push for hiring new people. Or if the old staff, if they want to stay on board with your schools, okay, because that was brought up with us as one of the questions. If the old staff wants to move from MLG to our company, they're more than welcome.
Well, the problem was that they had told us last time that they would have enough security guards, and then we were caught, like Brian said, we were not. So I want to have some type of security knowing, you know, that we are going to have enough security guards. You know, we don't want to be caught like we did last year.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
you
pretty sure
know,
we'll have.
what is there to give us some security to let us know that we're going to have enough security guards? No matter what, you know, like, what would be a consequence or anything if y'all do not provide? Because what's gonna happen is, that consequence is gonna happen to our students. Because something now can happen because we don't have enough security guards where we need them to be at.
If we don't come up with it, yes, that's on us, but then, like I said, I will definitely get people ASAP to get them in place, even if I have to take them from other sites to cover for a bit.
So is there a guarantee that we will have enough security guards?
Yes, I already have 25 people because actually it was 21, now you guys wanted 25 during the day. And I already have my evening crew for your events, though that's already well established.
So
With your
again,
evening
what's
crew-
the guarantee?
I really can't give you the guarantee.
Because if you come out saying that we're 10 security guards short, we're still gonna have to go somewhere to go get them. We cannot have an event without having those security guards there.
But I would.
Will you foot the bill for those other 10?
Yes.
Can we have that?
We have an agreement with them currently, but if they're willing to
Yeah, I have.
stipulate to something like that,
oh, they're the afternoon, they're the second. Tony, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, so they're in the backup one, basically, right?
well.
They're already working with us,
now,
right?
they-
Right now, we have the evening events.
The evening events.
Basically, any event that comes up, I will definitely get it covered. And I've been covering those events 100%.
What's that, Tony?
So if approved by the board, we're gonna have a new contractual agreement with that stipulation in that.
okay. I have a concern with something you said just a little while ago, that if you don't have them, then, you know, you'll quickly, you know,
Yeah,
a quick
quickly
hire, a quick
hire 'em,
hire.
yes.
However, that's not you still have to do background checks. Those take those take some time, you know?
Yeah, yes, they do.
And that's not something you can do overnight.
Well, the background checks
So-
usually, if they're already been having their license, like the level 2s already,
Mm-hmm.
their background checks has already been complied with through the Department of Public Safety.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
What about employment verification?
Our employment also, we also do an extensive background. That only takes like a day or two.
Dr. Rivera, you have experiences like we're having right now? Do you have experiences on the security guard selection? And we'd like to.
Where I've been in West
pick your
Laco is
brain.
that we have our own security firm hired by the district, employed by the district. It counts too. They have their own security firm as part of the school district. We don't contract out.
You mentioned earlier as well that the employees that are with MLG, the other vendor, you'll give them an opportunity, or they'll have an opportunity to maybe
Yes.
employ with you?
Mhm.
To get employed.
This way also helps us out too. 'Cause, you know, if they've already been here, they know what they're
They
doing.
know the district.
Yeah, everything is all, you know, I have no issues of anybody who wants to work with us that from the previous of the other vendor. It just helps us out and helps you guys out, and you guys are more comfortable with the certain guards that are already in place. You guys know them. So, yeah, if they're more than welcome to come aboard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any more discussion, guys?
The principals pick this firm, so the principals are gonna make sure that your firm goes out there and does the work they're supposed to do. No fumbles.
I understand. Yes, there shouldn't be any fumbles. We're here to help you guys out and do our best, and we will definitely do our best.
Can I ask one more question, sir? I think in one of the presentations, and I'm pretty sure it's in your proposal, but you mentioned that there would be places where they could clock in, you know, for accountability purposes.
That is correct.
everybody is in where they're supposed to be.
That is correct.
Is that still, you're going to install equipment?
They're already in
or-
place.
They're
Of
already in
all-
place?
Yeah. Throughout all your campuses, they're already in place, because we did that for your events. When a guard definitely goes on site to like do a certain event, we want to make sure that they show up at the event at the time and make sure the accountability is there. So if we do it during the day, then yes, it is all in place. And if you need additional areas where they need to be checked in or looked at, we can add those tags at any moment, at any time.
Very good, very good. And will the district, will your company, will there be one person to notify, to contact immediately if there's any issues? You know, someone that's going to be monitoring the security officers?
The reports, yes.
Okay.
It's all,
No, a person, like a person, not.
Yeah,
not
it'll be me.
employees. That would be you?
it'd be myself, yes.
So you'll be.
Yeah, I'm the
you'll
point
be-
of contact of any incidents, and also whoever is the point of contact for the school.
Uh-huh.
Like if it's like, if they would safety, it'd be Mr. Canales.
Mm-hmm.
He would also be notified at the same time, and myself.
Where is your office located?
My office is located in downtown McAllen.
Okay. And do you currently have other school districts? besides
We
Merced?
have Ed Couch,
Okay.
and we also, I think we just picked up Harlingen.
How many security officers do you have in Ed Coach, if you don't mind?
Ed Couch, we have 9. Yeah, because they asked for additional 5 more guards.
Okay. They have they have their own,
They have their own security,
Security.
but they wanted us as for level 3.
okay.
So we have
The
9
acti-
guards,
the
level 3.
activities, the activities.
Yes, they did.
Activities. Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, any more discussion, guys?
The only question, additional question, Dr. Rivera, on I know we talked about the overtime, were all the vendors told that as well?
I'm sorry?
All the vendors are aware that we would not be, that they would need to have enough staff to cover all
Yes.
events without overtime?
Yes.
So they were all aware of that?
Yes.
Okay.
And some could not, of the 5 that were there, some could not provide it. Those that were ranked 3, 4, or 5.
Okay. But the top two
But the top
could-
two could provide both.
Okay.
Okay, good to go, guys?
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions, comments? Thank you, sir.
Welcome, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion from Mr. Howe and a second by Mr. Martinez. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed by saying nay?
Nay?
Nay.
Nay.
The motion passes 4-3. Moving along with the next item, guys. A4. A discussion and possible action advertise the proposals for stop-loss carrier or renew with Dallas Risk Management. Dr. Rivera.
Okay. At the last meeting, we were instructed to go out for proposals on this item. But we received no proposals, not a single one. So the agenda is to renew with Dallas Risk Management. So that is our recommendation, to renew. And I think last year's proposal also said that we could renew. So the rates, Mr. Gonzalez, remain the same, am I correct? Mr. Gonzalez, the rates? The rates?
We're going to talk to Ms. Means.
Okay.
Mrs. Richmond.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
The rates remain the
The,
same?
the rates remain the same.
And we're really caught up pretty tight on this one because we need something by September the 1st. So we'll get Mrs. Means? Is she
Yes.
available? Oh, there she is.
Hi,
There
I'm
you
here, everybody. How are y'all?
Hello, Ms.
Hello.
Means.
Hi there. Yeah, so actually, on your swap list, if you guys recall last year, Dallas Risk Management with American National came forward, gave y'all a big rate increase. So this year, because we didn't get any stop loss proposals in, I went to them, if you recall last meeting, the option of staying and renewing for September 1st. The carrier wanted about a $69,000 rate increase, so it was 8%. I went back to them and told them, hey, our claims are running good, here's our strategy for next year. So they came down, and actually, to be technically correct, it's a slight decrease, it goes down about $75. So the rates aren't staying the same, they're actually decreasing just a tiny bit. So my recommendation is, this is a good deal, trend and inflation right now. Getting a slight rate decrease on your stop loss rates is a very good deal. So I would recommend to renew for a one-year term, and then if we could, I don't know, Mr. Torres, maybe you can answer this, but if we can have the option to renew one more time in the award language, that would be great, because staying with the stop loss carrier for a few years is actually really good for your plan.
As long as it was in the original bid, I have no problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
As long as it was in their original bid, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Well, we're going to need a motion, guys, to discuss the actual item on the agenda, so.
So moved.
Okay, I got a motion from Mr. Garza, second?
Second?
Okay, I got a second from Ms. Delgado. Okay, guys, so we have a recommendation from administration, so I have a motion from Garza, a second by Ms. Delgado. Any discussion, guys? Any questions?
No.
Okay. This means, thank you so much for saving money. That's the bottom line, right? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Okay,
you, y'all have a
so-
great evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, ma'am. Thank you. If there's no more discussion, guys, we have a motion from Mr. Garza, a second from Ms. Delgado. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes unanimous. On to the next one. A5, discussion possible action to award RFP 0805-22-281 gutter system for Sergeant Chacon Middle School. Dr. Rivera.
Yes, we received 4 proposals, but 2 were incomplete. So staff is recommending, the committee recommended SLR for $128,500. And they can complete the work in 45 days. So that is our recommendation. Staff is here if you have any questions for them. had we not gone out again, their last month, their rate was $150,000. So they actually went down $22,000. So that's our recommendation.
Okay, guys, we have a recommendation from administration. May I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Acosta. May I have a second?
Second?
Second from Ms. Trevino. Any discussion, guys? Any questions?
This, the only question I have is, did it get inspected as far as like, was there any other damage besides just the gutter? Because I know that there had been leaks in that
It
area.
was just the gutter system, nothing else, right? What you and I discussed?
Correct, it's only the gutter
Only the
system.
gutter system.
We did bring in an engineer to do the inspection and to oversee the project. And we're gonna do the company's gonna do the entire work, demo, bringing down and replace the much-needed gutter system at Checkpoint Middle School.
Any other questions, guys? Thank you, Mr. Ritter. Okay, we have a motion for Mr. Acosta. We have a second by Mr. Trevino. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed by saying nay? Motion passes. Safe Schools, B1, discussion and possible action to approve the 2022-2023 Student Handbook and Student, Code of Conduct. Dr. Rivera.
Staff has spent many hours working on this, and there are very few changes. Mr. Canales, can you come up here? Mr. Canales? Staff has worked very hard on this with the principals, and there are very few changes what we had last year. So we're recommending approval, and Mr. Canales is here along with the principals to see if you have any questions on whatever is here in the Code of Conduct and the handbook. Yes. Any questions for Mr. Canales?
Well, good evening, Board President, Dr. Rivera, board members, concerned citizens, and administrators. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Along with Mrs. Christine Salceda.
Guys, any questions, comments?
Was there anything that was added that we didn't have last year, that we kind of added this year?
Yes. I met with a committee in April, and we dissected that student code of conduct at had a very good talk on what we should have, what we should incorporate, and we came up with a list of things, okay? And then we had a meeting with students from the high schools. We wanted to get their input. We've been seeing that districts around the valley, their dress code has been changing, okay? We don't want to stay too far behind, but we also don't want to become too liberal either. We only allow certain things. They had their recommendations. We viewed them. Then in June, I met with the administrators, and we considered everything on the table, and we came up with a list of things that we added to the dress code. The first one that we added was earrings. Previously, they were not allowed for the boys. We have allowed it, we're starting to allow it. That trend is changing, and it's there. So we allow one earring for both girls and boys. Okay, one. The other thing that we allowed, the hair length. It was up to the collar. That's not much. We added just an inch. Okay, up to the collar. The other one was, yes, black polish. That is prohibited. In the past, it was not allowed for the boys, but it's not allowed for both girls and boys. But polish is general colors for both male and female. Okay, what's it? Oh, torn jeans. In the past, if there were torn jeans, we didn't allow them. We made an accommodation. Anything from the hip to the knee, if it is torn, absolutely no skin must show. It must be covered with a legging. However, if it's from the knee down, you can have a hole, a rip, not excessive. That's up to the principal. And that is for the secondaries. The elementaries, no changes. The changes that we introduced are only in the secondary.
I have a question, sir. I was looking at some of it, 200, it's pretty lengthy, 203 pages, but I noticed there was a campus behavior coordinator.
Yes.
Can you give me a little bit
The
detail
campus
of
behavior
that?
coordinator is the one who's in charge of basically discipline. That was brought over by the state around 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and it's usually the campus assistant principal who's in charge of that. They're the ones in charge of the discipline mainly.
Okay.
And that's mainly who I deal with. They're the ones who implement the changes, that help me consider the changes, and they're the ones that deal with the parents and mostly deal with discipline on any issue, violation of student code of conduct. And all campus coordinator, behavior coordinator must be posted on the campus website.
Okay.
And on mine, all of them.
So pretty much all of.
Oh, absolutely. I have
They're all
meetings.
principals, right?
Oh, yes, I meet with them once a month, and we go over that.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Any more questions, guys? Comments?
Let me ask the principals. Are you okay with the dress code, the code of conduct?
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll have a recommendation of administration. I need a motion to accept B1.
Yes, someone.
Okay, so I have a motion from Ms. Segal.
We already did, yeah.
Oh, we already got it?
Yeah.
Oh,
All in favor?
yeah, my bad, sorry. Okay, so I have a motion from Mr. Acosta and a second from Mr. Levine. Correct? My goodness, it was a long day, guys. Okay, so all in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Canales, no? Mr. Canales, stay for the next one. You go stay for the next one, the next item.
Okay, next was 6-1, guys. Discussion possible action to approve the 2022-2023 interlocal agreement between the City of Mercedes and Mercedes ISD for educational resource officers. Dr. Rivera.
As we have talked about, we'd like to increase the police department officers from 2 to 5. And right now, we have 2. We want to add 3 more, and we're paying them from ESSER funds. And the key here is student safety in our schools. We met with the police chief, and Mr. Canales, you want to come back up again? And you have in your packet, you have the agreement with the city of Mercedes and the school district. Any questions on this interlocal agreement?
Guys,
What's the breakdown as far as the EROs?
I'm sorry?
In what campus? You
Okay.
know,
Two at Mercedes High,
uh-huh.
1 at Mecca,
Mhm.
1 at every middle school, 2, and then 1 elementary roving.
One at elementary and one at middle school? One in,
Yeah. 2 at Mercedes High,
yes,
1 at the Mecca.
Mecca.
There's
Mhm.
3. I'm just counting here.
Yeah. And then one at
sorry.
elementary and one
One-
at the
yeah.
middle school?
6, right? 3. Two, no, there's 6, right? 6 officers?
No, 5.
If it's approved, we'll have a total of 5.
5, that's right, that's right. That's right.
5.
2 at the high school, 1 is going to be over.
Yes, we'll
and
have 2 at the high school.
Helping with
Yes,
Mecca, and then
If
one
the-
at every middle school and 1 at
yes, yes. If we get 5, 2 at the
5.
high school,
elementary. Yes,
1 in each middle school, and we'll have the other rotating officer among all the elementaries.
yes.
That is correct. And 1 in the high school will rotate also with Mecca. Mecca.
Okay. Okay, is there any more questions to Mr. Canales or Dr. Rivera? Okay, I entertain a motion, guys. I need a motion.
So moved?
Okay, I have a motion
Second.
from Mr. Trevino.
Second.
Second for Mr. Acosta. All right, any discussion, guys? Any questions?
I don't have a question, it's more of a comment. I, for one, am very glad that we're increasing our EROs. I know that that has always been an issue. There was always a need for it. For some reason, budget was an issue. I'm glad that we found monies for that. And I know Safe Schools had been requesting that, so I
Yes.
am, for one, am very, very excited that we're going to have more security on our campus. So, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dr. Rivera, for finding that money for us.
Okay, any more discussion, guys? Comments? Okay, so we have a motion for Mr. Trevino, a second for Mr. Acosta. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed by saying nay? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Canales and Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along to the consent agenda, guys. I guess I'll start from the right to the left. Mr. Trevino?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Garza?
No, sir, none for me.
Mr. Acosta?
Yes, sir. Under A, curriculum and instruction, item number 2, number 4, number 5, and then that'll be it.
Okay, so Brian, you got A2, A4, and A5.
Correct.
All righty. Mr. Howe, anything on the consent agenda you want to withdraw?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Martinez?
No.
Ms. Delgado?
No, none. Thank you.
Okay, so I have none, so I need a motion to accept the consent agenda with the exception of A2, A4, and A5.
So moved.
I'll take that over to Mr. Trevino for the win. Mr. Trevino. And can I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Garza. Okay, if there's no discussion or questions, guys, all in favor by saying aye?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. Mr. Acosta, let me get this ready here. A2, consent agenda. Discussion of possible action to approve the MOU between Rio Grande Valley Institutions of Higher Education College Prep and Mercedes ISD to provide college-level mathematics and English language arts courses. Okay, I need to entertain a motion on it.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Acosta, can I have a second, guys?
Second.
Second by Mr. Garza. Okay. Floor is open for discussion, guys.
Okay, no, just my only question, Dr. Rivera, is this is a program, I guess, to help students get to a level where they will do well in the college level courses. It's a prep for math and English. What grade level is this targeting? Is it 8th grade or is it
Dr. Castillo?
freshmen or?
Ninth.
For seniors?
Seniors.
Yes, so students that do not perform well in TSI reading and math at the same time are put in that 4th math and 4th English so that they can obtain that 4th credit to graduate. At the same time, it's like a ticket into non-remedial courses at the college level. So they would be taking like at UTRGV 1301, English composition, the sequence class, and then the math college algebra. Because it's an articulation between UTRGV and the Mercedes ISD, with the teachers getting the training with the University of Texas.
Okay. And it's a whole year?
It's a whole year. They need to
Okay.
be in the class. Yes.
All right, thank you. That was my only question.
Okay. Any questions, guys, comments? Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Acosta, second by Mr. Garza. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passed. A4, discussion possible action to approve the interlocal agreement between South Texas College Dual Credit Program Mercedes Early College Academy for dual enrollment of 2022-2023 school year. I entertain a motion.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, we have a motion for Mr. Acosta. Second, guys?
Second.
Okay, for Mr. Trevino, we have a second for Mr. Trevino. Yeah, the floor is open, guys, for discussion.
So on this item, I just wanted clarification. I know we entertained a interlocal agreement, I guess, last month with STC and Mercedes ISD. I just didn't know what the discrepancy, why there's a difference between this and those. These two items here specifically address Mercedes Early College and the T-STEM program. Why would we have the other one? Is there something there, Tony?
They just wanted, my assumption is they wanted one specifically for the early college. Because the language is working.
It's for T-STEM, so that was what I wanted clarification on.
I don't know if that's what they communicated with, Ms.
Mr. Castillo?
I would have to review the first one, but I believe this one is the traditional one to offer courses on site or at the campus at STC. And so both MECA and MHS provide the services to the students. So it's usually the same MOU that you interlock agreement between the two entities.
Mhm. Okay.
It has the same 100-point scale as you discussed, that language is exactly the same.
It's all exactly the same.
It's for bookkeeping purposes is my assumption, because the language is the same.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, any discussion, guys? Any more comments? Okay, so we have a motion for Mr. Acosta, a second by Mr. Trevino. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. A5, discussion possible action to approve the interlocal agreement between South Texas College and Mercedes High School T-STEM for dual enrollment credit program for 2022-2023 SY.
So moved.
Okay, a motion for Mr. Acosta. Second, please.
Second.
A second from Mr. Trevino. Open the floor.
My question was just the same, but it's been answered.
It's been answered.
Yeah.
Okay, comments, any questions, guys? Okay, so all in favor, I'm sorry, I have a motion for Mr. Acosta, a second for Mr. Trevino. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Motion passes. Okay. Get my notes going, guys, hold on. Okay, executive session, A, personnel, pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and attorney consultation pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. A1, resignation, terminations, appointments, evaluation, reassignments, duties, and discipline of professional, paraprofessional, and non-contract employees. Teacher substitutes and substitute for maintenance, transportation, and cafeteria departments. A2, discussion and consideration of the proposed termination of Maria L. Espino, term contract, teacher contract. B, student discipline. C, discussion and consideration of interim superintendent agreement. D, discussion in private consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation, settlement matters and/or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with a school attorney. This is 7:29 p.m. and this report is an executive session.